Okay, you've probably heard this one 1,000 times, right? Maybe from a grandparent or in a movie. But what does "a fool and his money are soon parted" really mean today in our world of one-click shopping and crypto hype? Well, let's unpack it. It's so simple, but man, is it sharp. A little brutal, even, isn't it? This one sentence has been echoing for centuries, and it's this really powerful warning about how easy it is to lose what you have. And that is the real question, right? Because in an age of digital money, endless online opportunities, and things designed to make us spend instantly, the definition of financial foolishness, well, it might be a lot broader than you think. So to really get why this saying still has so much punch today, we first have to break down the timeless warning that's right at its heart. It's a lesson that, you'll see, really never gets old. When you boil it all down, the meaning is incredibly direct. If you're careless with your money, if you don't treat it with some respect and a bit of a plan, it has a funny way of just disappearing. It's almost like a law of financial gravity. Let's just break this phrase down piece by piece. First, you've got the fool. Now, this isn't about being unintelligent. It's about not being wise with your money. Then you have his money, which is just, their wealth, their stuff. And the result? Soon parted. It's a direct cause and effect. The relationship between that person and their money is going to be short-lived. So, if it's not about being smart or not, what actually makes someone this financial fool? Let's dissect the anatomy of one. And this is the key. We are not talking about IQ points here. The proverb is aimed squarely at a specific set of behaviors: a lack of discipline, not thinking about the future, and just, plain old bad judgment when it comes to cash. So what does this look like in the real world? Well, it's the person who makes those big impulse buys without thinking twice. It's the gambler who risks it all on a long shot. It's anyone who gets sucked into those get-rich-quick schemes you see everywhere. And maybe most importantly, it's the person who just doesn't plan for tomorrow. Of course, the best way to really understand a concept is to see it in action. So let's look at a couple of modern cautionary tales that really bring this old proverb to life. Okay, picture this. It's a story we all know. Someone wins a massive, life-changing amount of money from the lottery. All of a sudden, they are richer than they ever imagined. And what happens next? Instead of sitting down and making a plan, the spending just starts. There's no budget, no investments, just a total whirlwind of fancy cars, huge parties, and things that don't last. And way too often, the story ends right back where it began, or sometimes even worse off. The money is just gone, almost as fast as it arrived. It is the proverb playing out in the most dramatic way possible. Or how about this one? This is probably way more relatable for a lot of us. The internet is absolutely flooded with scams that promise you the world for almost no effort. The modern fool doesn't need to win the lottery. They just need an internet connection and a little bit of vulnerability to promises that are just too good to be true. This saying feels so incredibly modern, like it was made for the internet age. But it has some seriously deep roots. Let's jump back in time a little bit and see where this piece of wisdom actually came from. So get this, the first hint of it we can find is from way back in 1573 in a poem by a guy named Thomas Tusser. He wrote, "A fool and his money be soon at debate." I kind of love that phrasing, at debate. Then, just 14 years later, a Dr. John Bridges polishes it into the version we all know today. Just think about that for a second. For over 400 years, this warning has stayed almost exactly the same. So, after digging into its meaning, the kind of person it describes, and its history, what's the big lesson here? What should we really be taking away from all this? At the end of the day, this proverb isn't really a judgment. It's a warning, and it's a call to action. It's basically telling us, hey, be thoughtful, be a little skeptical of things that sound too easy, and most of all, be disciplined. Because if you're not, money has a way of just vanishing. And that really leaves us with one last thought, doesn't it? We all have that little bit of fool in us. We all have moments of weakness, of impulse. In a world that's literally designed to make us spend our money, the real challenge is figuring out how to protect that part of ourselves. So the question is, what's your strategy?